This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Pierre Novelli. You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via frank@absoluteradio.co.uk. Am I the only person involved in this show who doesn't know that off by heart? I still have to read it every week.
Do you think it lends a freshness to your delivery?
Yeah, maybe. I had a friend who was in a play for about 3 years, and he used to say that the real art was that every day he could say it like he'd never heard it before. But I've worked with actors like that before who get the lines wrong because they've never heard it. But no, he was, I couldn't do that personally. But, you know, we can't do everything in life.
No.
Thanks. I did a gig on Saturday night. No, Sunday night. I've already told an accidental lie. On Sunday night at the Garrick Theatre in the West End of London. Mm-hmm. And as I walked down Charing Cross Road, I kept passing people with massive medals on because they'd run the London Marathon.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
And they were all looked so... And I thought, I wish I'd got my MBE with me. I just about everyone I passed. 36 years it took me to get that. That's what I call a marathon, mate.
That's my time.
I like the idea of wandering around with your medal. Do you remember when I told you when I went to the Olympics in Athens? Yes, I've been around that long. And,
Not the original.
yeah, exactly. I was there, my friend.
That's when they didn't wear any clothes.
Why do you think I was there?
Ah, fair enough.
Front row seat. And there were medal winners, mainly in the sort of weightlifting category, that area, you know, wandering around with their medals, just with those vests and the medals at night in the clubs.
It's great.
Oh, wow.
I think it was doing well for them. Some were sort of, you know, aesthetically challenged, or they were quite niche, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, they're a specialist interest. And they were doing well with the medals. Some just bronze.
I think it's nice if you go somewhere and they don't have a coaster. I think having a coaster on a lanyard is my dream, really, because I cannot put a cup down. People will say, oh, don't worry about that table. I say, look, I can't put it down. I just did it just before the show. I was just putting the tea on this old plastic chair they've got in here, which I think the boss of Absolute sits on in the shower, judging by the mildew. And not on him, on the chair. And... I was just putting the cup down. I thought, oh, and I grabbed a coaster and put that down underneath. So, yeah.
I thought you were going to say that the chair was like a sort of enormous wheeled coaster for you. But even the chair.
I don't want to leave a circle on the chair.
In the mildew.
Frank's really obsessed by coasters. It's adorable.
I've done, like, I've skimmed them onto people's cups when they've been, like, half an inch, just about to hit the surface. And I flicked one underneath and got it under there.
Like a ninja.
Yeah.
Touch for the very first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would that have gone as a song, like a ninja touch for the very
ninjas
first?
have been around the block.
I think it would have meant touched as in emotionally touched, because us ninjas, it would have explained in the verse, are seen as quite cold, calculating machine, like killing people. Whereas occasionally we can be touched. But I remember when that happened for the very first time, and then back into the chorus.
Yes.
Us ninjas is certainly something I was never expecting to hear come out of your mouth.
It would be a great opening gambit to some sort of say, well, us ninjas. And then whoa, where's this going?
Yeah.
What a confident statement.
Do they exist, or are they...
8, 12, 15.
They're very hard to spot if they
Come
do.
on, there would be, but I'm looking to you, Pierre. Is it a real thing?
Ninjutsu is a real thing. You could study it.
Ninjutsu is a real
martial
thing.
art, yeah.
Isn't it like Pokemon or something?
In the sense that it's Japanese, yes.
That reminds me that Elvis... When I went to Gracelands and they got his video tapes that he used to like watching, including Monty Python and the Holy Grail was one of his favourites. And they said Elvis's favourite was the knights who say, "We are the knights who say," and he say, "We are." Hey, guy, hear that guy? "We are the knights who say," oh. Everyone laughs, of course, because Elvis is laughing.
Imagine if you didn't laugh at the knights.
Oh.
I don't think you'd last long.
No. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Well, it's not that funny. Close your door on the way out.
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
Little insight into what we were discussing off air then. Pierre and I have discovered we have something in common. We both strongly object to the Americans using the word burglarized instead of burgled.
Oh, okay.
What are your views on burglarized?
I didn't know that they did use that, I'll be honest. No.
You watch American sort of crime documentaries. The home was burglarized on the... What?
Yeah.
It sounds almost like a sort of laser gun thing. Like if you get...
I have to say I don't mind it. I might start using it.
Really?
Okay.
Burglarized.
It sounds fancier. I think that's...
Burglarized. What's that song? Sacrifice by Elton John. Burglarized. Imagine him.
I don't like
He
it.
goes in there and all his glass fish are knocked over. I went to his French villa in Nice.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of those. You know those glass animals you see in Venice with
the
like paint in
the
them.
blown ones.
Yeah, he had loads of those everywhere.
Oh, did he?
So if they were knocked on the floor, he'd know.
I've been burglarized. Yeah. You're right, Elton. So now I'll watch out for that now.
Yeah.
As you know, I don't watch much. The American things I watch were mainly filmed in the 1920s. But I'll check that out. Listen, here's the thing. I had 2 pairs of spectacles. One I'd paid for. One I got free from Specsavers.
Oh.
And the one I had free from Specsavers, I was walking with my dog and I got a text from my partner and I had to raise my spectacles onto my head in order to read the text because I can't really read through my walking spectacles.
Sure.
And then I walked on and I thought, hold on, I haven't got glasses on, and I realised that they dropped off while I did that. I dashed back and I just saw a woman coming through the gap with her dog. I almost heard the crunch of my spectacles on the foot. So then I got 1 pair. They've been sat on a few times. I thought, I'm going to get myself some new glasses. And you know what? I don't know if you remember my last glasses, but they've got Gregory Peck written on the inside stem, and they're based on the glasses that Atticus Finch was wearing in what is it, To Kill a Mockingbird?
To Kill a Mockingbird, yeah.
And I wondered, and I still don't know the answer to this. I think I have posed it on here, whether Gregory Peck's is a Cockney rhyming thing for specs, and that was one of the reasons they'd gone for it. But maybe I've gone into Pond
It
City.
should be, though.
Yeah.
That's good slang.
Anyway, so I love choosing spectacles frames. Just standing in there trying on spectacles. Oh man, it's great.
Like the potential is extra. I mean, I'm with you, Frank. I love that as well. It's a new you, isn't it?
One day, you think, I'm going to put one on in a minute and think, yes, sirree. I'm going to think.
These are my frames.
So, I picked some, and look, I'm going to be straight. Well, I've spoke on this show before about the fact that I've got a big head. If you remember my hat problems for Royal Ascot. And one of the side effects of the big head, not much mentioned, is it means that your ears are further away from your eyes
Yes.
than most people. So I tried these glasses on, I really liked them, but the arms, I believe they call them, on the side of the spectacles, were have you ever seen, I remember seeing an old pirate movie where they found a skeleton and he was lying, reaching out for these gold coins that were nearby, like as a symbol as his greed had killed him. That's what the arms look like, reaching for my ears. and not quite making it. So I spoke to that which I like to call the man in the shop.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what he said to me after this.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
What was that TV programme where there was like a big brown animal stroke alien living with an ordinary family?
Elf.
Oh.
Was it that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
He ate cats. He looked like an aardvark.
Was Alf what
Have
the
you got any
family-
evidence for that?
Big splash in the.
Was Alf what the family
red
called
tops.
him, or was that his alien
What was
name?
he? Was he an alien?
I think it stood for alien life form.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
They didn't
I don't know
think
what. I
things
just
through.
had a thought of it, and I just needed to know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year. No, that was a New Year's Eve speech given by, I think, George the Sixth. Anyway, I said, I really like these glasses. I said, they don't quite reach my ears. And he went, oh, no, they don't. And I said, he said, let me look at those. And he looked and he said, well, your spectacles are 500 mil arms. These are only 450. I said, okay, so can I get them with the 500? And he said, no.
I like him.
And I said, why can't you do that? He said, we just can't. I said, but that's not, he said, we can't do that. So I then pathetically, because I'd booked a sight test, I went around the shop not looking at frames I liked anymore, but just looking for 500 on the arm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
Instead of 4. So I tried like some ridiculous glasses on that were never going to suit me, but they reached my ears. And it was
I can imagine.
so...
Like, did you have some that made you look like a slight American fashion eccentric on the front row?
No, it was terrible though, because I'd so been enjoying it. And it was like he didn't want to, I think a lot of eyes people, eyes guys, I think a lot of eyes people are a bit resentful that they're not included in the ear, nose and throat thing.
Would they have an inferiority complex?
They feel they've been the victims of a monopoly. And they don't want to know about the ears. They're not interested in the ears.
They go, "That's not my-"
I don't work in ears. I work in eyes. Why have you even brought this up?
If I wanted to work in ears, I wouldn't have gotten a job at Specsavers.
It was honestly. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's the advantages of having a big brain
Yeah.
are bigger than the disadvantages. But in this case, I don't know what I'm going to do. Do you know, a neurologist said to me once that just the comedy section of my brain was bigger than most people's whole brains.
Was this neurologist at a bus stop?
No, I actually made that up. But no, so in the end,
We'd never have guessed.
so I'm walking around the shop, but people must thought, who's that guy? He's just picking up shops, looking at the arms on the picking up glasses and just looking at I need the arms to be good.
Yeah.
And must do a lot of side. Perhaps he's in Miss Side On. In which everyone is side on stage, and he's looking for the right glasses. But and then the eye test was so late, I couldn't do it.
Well, hang
So
on, was the eye
whole thing
test
was a
late
disaster.
because you were wandering
No,
around
apparently
picking up arms?
he said to me she might have found something.
Oh,
I
dear.
don't know what. I didn't want to know what that meant.
Did you ever find out, or are you willing for that to remain a mystery?
Oh dear. I mean, it was so. I don't know what I'm going to do now. As I see it, and I think we should discuss this, I got 3 choices.
Okay.
Monocle, pince nez,
Yeah.
and opera glasses on a stick.
Yes.
Or none of which, involve the ears in any way. But I don't know where. If anyone out there...
Any optometrists?
well, I was thinking any legal people. What's the legal situation?
Well, hang on.
Drive-
When did things get legal?
Well, I'm thinking if I'm going to be driving in a monocle, is that...
Toad of Toad Hall.
Is that... yeah. Can you get Eubank on the phone? This is a genuine problem for me.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So we're talking about your specs, and Richard Cracknell has got in touch, Frank.
Okay.
Gregory Peck isn't Cockney slang for specs, because you were wondering whether
If
it might
was,
be.
well, because my spectacles have got Gregory Peck on the side.
So Richard has some reasons he cites for this. It breaks two of the language rules. Number one, specs is already a slang word.
I see.
It's specs.
So rhyming slang can't be applied to an already existing slang word. Who knew?
According to the RC,
Yeah.
it's specs, so it doesn't exactly match Peck. Well, I think you're being a little picky
No,
there,
but
RC.
you could pluralise it though, couldn't you?
Yeah, I was also gone a bit burglarised now.
Well, somebody told me once that he used Frank Skinner for dinner. I'm going to have me Frank Skinner.
I love that.
Yeah.
No, the
I
big-
don't know if he was being nice, but he swore that was the case.
A big
The-
plate of Frank.
Yeah.
Oh,
That'd
dear.
be a sausage thing, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Has he
Okay.
got any other
Yeah. No, yeah.
provisos?
The RC's not done.
Right.
Gregory Peck is actually the slang word for neck.
Is it really?
There you go.
These people got so much time, haven't they?
When you say
Yeah.
these
Take a
people,
one-syllable word and make it 4 syllables.
We wind your Greg in.
Yeah.
It would come.
well, I like these people.
No, but who's going to make words longer? That goes against the whole abbreviation tradition.
You say, I want 2 words for every word. I'm going to double the length of time it takes me to say anything.
My management company, there's an Australian woman, and she sent me an email this week saying, following our convo. And I thought, wow, that is like that when Neighbours was massive and you would learn words like that. I hadn't heard convo before.
Following our combo, this arvo.
The Aussies are in a rush.
They are in a rush.
They're busy.
They're a relaxed people.
And yet?
Oh, go on.
Oh, I like.
And yet they're in a rush.
Yeah.
I'd like a and yet with Pierre Novelli. I'd listen to that
About
podcast.
famous people who sort of come a cropper. And they start with Napoleon. And yet?
Have I told you before that my partner, Kath, is... you know what a malapropism is when you get the wrong word based on Mrs. Malaprop from I don't know which play.
Is it, well, it'll be some Congreve.
I think it's a restoration
Yeah.
dude. Anyway, Kat does it with whole phrases. And some really well-known ones. I remember she said to me, and he stared at me like a goldfish in the headlights. And I thought, okay. Well, this is a Chappaquiddick reference. And so...
She was. Remember, Frank, when she said, I tell you what, it was like pulling blood.
I know, yeah. And this week she said to me, she said, you know her, she looks like that woman from There Goes Essex. There Goes Essex. What's that about? A drama about the nuclear war.
It's quite West Country as well. There goes Essex.
Essex.
Could be a great documentary about David Essex.
Yeah.
I might put that to his management.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
You ever been breathalyzed?
Yes. I passed with flying colours.
Oh.
I got breathalyzed on Tower Bridge, and the guy said, have you had a drink this evening? I said, I haven't had a drink since September the 24th, 1986. He said, well, we'll see. And breathalyzed me. I thought, will he tell you that?
I think if I was a cop and I was breathalyzing someone and someone said that with that level of certainty,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't doubt it. I'd still
I
do my
thought
job.
it was just, I didn't want him to waste a breathalyzer.
Oh.
That's so kind of you.
Yeah.
Do you know,
We pay for them ultimately.
I made a sort of ill-advised joke, and I said, "Oh, this is awful waiting for the results. It's like sort of judges' houses in X Factor, isn't it?" And he went, Can you just wait there, please?
Oh, I suppose he's paid to be serious.
Step out of the car, please, ma'am.
Oh,
Does it still happen, a breathalyzer? It's the most 70s thing you could possibly do. Is that the best they've got? Is still that?
I think now they're more advanced.
You don't blow into a plastic bag.
No,
do you, Paul?
no.
I mean, we're back to the whistle. You
Yes.
might as well have the whistle if you're going to stick with a breathalyzer.
what do they do if you refuse? They make you go to the station and have a blood test.
Yes,
Is that right?
yeah, they can.
Of
tell.
course, you guys would say I've been breathled instead of breathalyzed.
Yes, I've been breathled. Just breathling people.
We've just had. Sorry.
Oh, I saw a good malapropism in the wild, a subtle malapropism in the wild.
Okay.
The other day, which I think is quite common.
Oh, on safari.
A journal, yes, yeah, with my binoculars, my pedant's binoculars on. And it was a journalist as well, which I thought made it more surprising. And they said it's beggar's belief, as in it is a beggar's belief.
It's
Beggar's belief, and I've heard that before.
Oh, as if beggar's belief is a thing believed by beggars.
Yes, as in that's a silly belief, the sort of thing a beggar would think.
Oh, not it beggars belief.
As in
Yeah.
it defies belief. Yeah.
Well,
Or drains belief of.
that's incorrect.
Yes.
Louisa in North Somerset.
Yes.
Hi, Frank, Emily, Pierre, and all the team. Lovely and inclusive. Thank you, Louisa. I believe Mrs. Malaprop was a character in a play by Sheridan.
Thank you.
I'm not sure which play. It might have been School for Scandal.
Okay. Well, I didn't pretend, but I think when we knew we had the right era. Okay. And Mrs. Malaprop always got the wrong word.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's how it works.
Yes.
That's how it works. Here's the thing. Do you remember a few weeks ago we started talking about deferred gratification?
Yes.
So
I've been waiting for you to raise it again.
have you?
No.
With the, very good. Very good. It's all about putting off your reward. So you go to university, say, and study BTEC leisure management for 3 years. And at
Yeah.
the end of it, after all that hard work, you get your certificate. Or the kids who are told if you don't eat that cake, you get 2 in 2 minutes' time and all that. I have started doing this now, is when I put the shower on, I don't know what's happened to our hot water, but it takes about 4 minutes to get hot, the water
Does
in our
it?
shower. So this is out in the east wing of the house.
That's why it takes so long to warm
Yeah,
up.
exactly. No, so what I've started doing is getting into the shower when it's still cold. It's really unpleasant, knowing that soon I'll start to feel it get a bit warmer and it's lovely.
Yeah.
It's very good psychologically. Thinking, oh yeah, I can cope with this because I know the hot water is coming.
But you have got all that hair shirt thing in you, haven't you? Let's be honest.
Yeah, but I just think it's great. It's great practice for life. Battling on a bit, knowing that soon the clouds will part.
The trend now is to have a hot shower and then 30 seconds to a minute ice cold at the end.
The trend amongst...
the sort of health trend. So it gives you the adrenaline for the day and activates your body in some mysterious
That
way.
sounds like it might be done by men who meet in fields naked with just body paint and eat raw meat.
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner, speaking of common people. This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Pierre Novelli. You can text the show on 81215, follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via frank@absoluteradio.co.uk.
And we have been receiving some emails, Frank.
Fab.
Firstly, 139. Frank, this is about your spectacles issue. Try a non-chain optician. By that, I don't think they mean
No
glasses on a lanyard, like most stage managers.
A non-chain optician, okay. Why
they
would
recommend one called University Opticians. I won't say any more than that. It's a
Yeah,
specific
it could
score.
be Alf from University Opticians
What?
who's
Alf?
thinking. Not Alf, the alien who looks a bit like those creatures you get that... what's the gunner? The Arsenal gunner.
Oh, Gunnosaurus Rex.
Yeah, he looks a bit like Gunnosaurus Rex.
He looks also a
if
bit
he'd
like
had,
Piloswine, the Pokemon character. Do you remember him, Pierre?
That's too new for me.
Okay. I
What's
do.
he called?
Piloswine. Ask Buzz, he'll know.
Piloswine.
Buzz will know.
Okay.
Also,
Like a luscious pork menu. Pile of swine.
Yeah.
894. Morning. In our house, we say, it's cold in here. Put on the Ronin for central heating.
Oh, that's good. I like it. I can see the lure then when you're not losing any time. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's the same amount of syllables.
Yes, yes.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Put on the Ronin.
383 texts in, and I presume 383 is a copper. Because
Okay.
regarding our chat about breathalyzers, they say, when people make jokes, it makes me more suspicious.
Oh, well, this is all these stories. Does this really happen at customs? If you say, have you got anything in your bag? And you say, yeah, well, only my Armalite rifle, that you immediately get arrested and taken away. That's what people always say.
Yes.
I think they definitely don't chuckle.
No.
I think they.
But they say as soon as you say that, they have to arrest you because otherwise it's on their head if you have got an Armalite rifle.
Yeah.
How do I know the phrase Armalite? I don't even know. Pierre, what is an Armalite rifle?
It's a type of American assault rifle mainly used by the IRA, smuggled in.
That was very
that's-
quick.
okay,
Very
maybe.
quick response. Very
Yeah.
quick.
You ask a South African about
No,
firearms,
I
they're
know.
going to,
Well,
they're
I
going
tell-
to know.
I turn to you immediately. I like it.
Yes, you'd be my first. I've got to be honest, if I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and it was a firearms question,
Yes.
you would be. Were you Frank's phone a friend once?
I was.
How
I was
did it-
Frank's phone a friend, and I stepped up to the plate.
And what was the question? Can you remember?
Oh, can you remember?
Can you remember, Pierre?
It was which of the following African animals is not a
Oh,
vegetarian?
yeah. Looking back, it was. I should have got it.
You could, and what happened?
We got it. It was meerkats. They eat worms and grubs and things. And all
Yeah.
the other ones were rhino, giraffe, and something else.
Yeah.
But if you've got
Vegetarian.
Pierre at the end of a phone, I mean, it's tailor-made.
I know,
You've
but
gotta
I
call it.
wasted him. I think I should have
Did
saved
you?
him for the big ones, but I never got to the big ones.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, you and Adrian Charles on the other one, you came a cropper over the what was it?
We came Acropolis.
You came a cropper
that doesn't
over
quite
the.
work, 'cause it
I
was
tell you
Rome.
what happened. You came a cropper over the catacombs.
It was the catacombs, and I thought they were in Rome, and
They're
they
in
turned out
Paris.
to be in Paris. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some in Rome, though. That's what's confusing. That's
know.
where the non-petrified saints live.
Yes.
Okay. What was we talking about? I think I've lost it now. Where did we meander from?
Oh, we were just talking
Oh,
about.
guns. We're talking
Yeah.
about guns. It was one of our little firearm chats with Pierre Novelli.
Fireside firearm.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh dear.
So, who else has been in contact?
Well, we've also had a couple of people. You know, Pierre and I were talking about burglarised.
Oh, yeah.
We're not fans of it. However, Ruth Jordan, one of our regulars,
Yes.
she's in agreement. Burglarised is awful, obviously. But is it worse when British people, I'm going to say Southerners, say burglary? Makes me feel physically sick.
Burglary, yes.
Like burgers of.
Do people say burglary?
Oh, people say
Instead of
all
burglary.
sorts.
Burglary.
Maybe. It's
Burglary.
like certificate.
Oh no.
Yes. And the big one, I grew up saying Chimbly.
Oh, but that's
Instead of chimney.
adorable. I love that. I love chimney.
And my sister-in-law used to say chimney.
Chimney?
Yeah. It doesn't feel like a word you're going to struggle with, does it, chimney?
No.
It's not that complicated.
And do people say nuclear wrong? How do they say it when they say it wrong?
George Bush would say nuclear.
Oh.
But you get nuclear as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I like that because it's a bit like burglarise. It's got nuke. Once you've got nuke in it, then I think you can improvise after you've established that. That's what I said to George.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
I can say, when I was your phone a friend, it was a bit like, if I wasn't sure what to expect, but someone comes to your house and sits with you.
You need to make sure you're not Googling.
Yeah, like but it felt like something from a Tarantino movie. We'll send someone around. And
Yeah.
this guy, just with a sort of little security lanyard, sits opposite you in your living room and with his hands sort of clasped, and you just sit in
No,
silence.
it is. It's a strange.
You can't have your phone or books near you on the couch or anything. You have to be like sort
as
of
if
away
you
from
need
things.
them.
I just went fingers up to temples and sort of
Yeah, exactly.
summoned the fact that
Frank.
meerkats eat grubs.
Can I just say, we are having, we've had a number of opticians getting in touch, all prepared to service your needs.
Really? They haven't seen how far my ears go back. You can't
Well,
if
I mean,
my
I don't want to be
eyes...
giving free advertising, but for example, Finley, who runs a dentist, sorry, that was a Freudian slip.
He runs a dentist.
Right, hold on. You think I should go to a dentist for whitening? Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Finley, who has an optician's practice in Notting Hill. Oh no,
It's not Finley Quay, is it? What
No.
if it's Finley Quay?
there are all sorts of people
Really?
getting it. Yeah.
Do you think
So I'm just saying.
we're building up a sort of a sword in the stone kind of thing for opticians here?
Yeah, like,
Who will among you be
I like-
worthy?
Yes, I like to think of it as optician's idol.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Who will get through to judges' houses?
Is it the arms race for my ears?
Well done. Very,
That sounds great.
Yeah.
You've been framed?
Do you want me to sift through these for you?
Yes.
Okay, I can do that.
No, that's... so maybe it can be. It's not true that it can't be done. It didn't sound impossible in a world. This is when people always used to say, you know, we've put a man on the moon. We can't make spectacles that reach my ears.
Your shopping experience in terms of those frames was like mine the other day, where I was lured in against my better judgment to a cool vintage store
Oh, yeah.
full of
Clothes.
sort of clothes and sort of like
Previously loved.
previously loved collectible 90s American football jerseys, things of this nature.
Previously loved is... I've got that on my Edinburgh posters.
I've got that on my Tinder profile.
Oh, no. So go on, you went into a vintage. What were you looking for? A frock coat?
I was killing time, and I
Okay.
sort of thought, well, a frock coat, yes, a topper.
Yeah.
I needed a new topper. No, I went in, and the reason I say lured in against my better judgment is because unless someone enormous has passed away recently, there will be
Yes.
nothing in the vintage shop
Yes.
that can fit me.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And people were smaller in the past as well, and you know.
It's a shame they don't list the obituaries by weight in the...
At the very least, collar size.
Yeah.
He always rejoiced in his 17.5-inch collar. And they go, I'm there. I'm there. I'd get straight on the
It's
bus.
a great thing to rejoice in. Oh, man. Okay.
There was not a thing. I did exactly what you did, and I went, you know what? I'm not going to look at what looks nice. I'm just going to go size label first, then I'll look at the
But
shirt.
you could
or
have
the
got a
jacket.
cravat or a cape.
A cape.
A cape would fit you, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
If any local
a lot of people
vampires.
don't actually wear those, Frank.
Oh, no.
in contemporary life.
Yeah, but not many people wear velvet jackets, but Pierre does.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. And that was
Man.
I had to kill an enormous magician to get that.
Yeah, wow. I mean, no
I like
fear,
it.
no fear of lint
No.
at all.
It's a bit evil scientist in his leisure time, the smoking jacket. I enjoy it.
I think it's a bit meerkat.
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
I was going to tell you about, you'd appreciate this. Someone mentioned that they would walked Hadrian's Wall. And I said, Picts, or it didn't happen. And they didn't get it.
No.
Yeah.
They'd walked Hadrian's Wall and they hadn't picked up
It's
on.
hard to say Picts, I think, but
Yeah.
for me, it's amongst my greatest work. But, you know. So anyway.
Chiseled into the back of the MBE.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I've just remembered something, which is
just an example, just a general example of my great convo.
Yeah.
Sorry,
We've
Emily.
been talking about Gregory's this morning, which you were hoping might be
Gregory
a bit of a
Peck's.
strong... Yeah, Gregory Peck's. You thought possibly, which I thought was a very fair assumption, might be a specs rhyming slang thing.
Yeah.
I do remember, I've just remembered at university, a friend of mine used to refer to Gregory's for trousers.
Oh, keks.
Yes.
But now that is a slang. You're not allowed
Well,
to do that.
Double slanging.
Exactly. He was
Right.
doing the double slang. And you
Yes.
don't want to do the double slang.
You
Forbidden.
could say, where did I hang my yowzers? Would that work?
It would work.
Whereas the Alan Wickers,
Yeah.
that's acceptable. Is it not?
What was we? Oh, is it that?
Ladies' underwear.
Yes, Alan Wickers. Yeah, I think
Yes.
I have heard that one.
Yes, okay.
I don't know if it's still
No.
it's still very. Is it just the pearly kings and queens who do it?
The last of the cockneys.
Yeah, up the apples and pears and.
I'm not sure. I've never been sure what a pearly king is.
Well,
I've seen pictures of them.
Is it a part-time role? Or
I
is it...
think it's like a. As I don't know, I'm going to be. Someone's going to correct this, but there's a pearly king buried in the cemetery near to my church that I go to.
Oh, is there?
And they wear the outfits with like pearl buttons
Yeah.
on them. I don't know if they're involved in any way with the area of London called Purley. I don't know.
In South
But
London.
basically, I think it used to be. I don't know if it's hereditary, but it was a sort of working class royalty. But now I think it's largely a raising funds for charity thing.
Right, okay.
But it used to be when I was a kid, they'd often be on the telly, and the Pearly Kings are out today, and you get the Pearly King and Queen in black outfits plastered in white pearl
Yeah.
buttons.
I've seen pictures of them as sort of part of Lord Mayor's parades or
Are you
whatever.
saying to me they don't have them in South Africa?
No. Sort of ritual clothing.
No.
It's too hot for that
No,
sort of thing.
I think it's very specific. I think it's specifically East End.
Yeah, it's a
With
cockney
the
thing.
female, the Pearly Queen, I presume there was one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Did she have the same outfit but a skirt suit then? Is it a pinstripe
I seem
suit?
to remember like a big ascot type hat plastered. What happened then?
What
Your-
are you playing at?
Your monocles come out.
You see, married tomorrow, today all she can think about is the veil, the nails, and the ales.
They won't have ales at the wedding, will they?
There'll be
Doesn't
drinks.
seem like that type of wedding. It's nice folk.
Is the producer doing a speech? Do we know? We haven't asked her that. You doing a speech, Sarah? You're not.
I am. You wait and see.
That woman who
Buckle up, everyone.
jumped onto the king's horse was basically wasting her time, wasn't she? Hey, what a shame. Poor Emily Davidson.
Frank Skinner.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Und?
Okay, 082. Morning team, malapropisms. I was being told the price of a product by a salesman. I can't remember what, unfortunately. And he said, of course, if you want it with all the Belgian whistles on, it will be more.
Oh, Belgian whistle.
I
Unless he
pretend-
was buying chocolate, moule, or Belgian beer, it's not allowed.
Yeah.
No. I pretended I hadn't heard to make him say it again.
But
That's
if he-
Jimmy the Face, one of our regulars.
If he was buying some at Belgian, that'd be good. That'd be really clever.
Do you want all the Belgian whistles?
I was talking to someone recently who said their dad was a librarian, and she said, I think that was his happiest time. I said, does he get dewy-eyed when he talks about it?
Yeah.
Based on the Dewey system
Yeah.
that they used. What I need to do is start slightly tailoring my material for my audience.
Yes.
I think what you should do is place both hands on the shoulders of the person who doesn't get it and explain it in detail close to their face.
I can't. I used to have an email that said some of them did fall on stony ground about whenever I told of jokes that had failed.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's gone.
I have a question about the viability. Talking of Gregory Peck's, I mean,
Yes.
and the famous film and book There's a chain of bars called Tequila Mockingbird, I believe.
Is that? That's good.
But what I find odd about it is why you would be like, oh, we're going to have a sort of fun cocktail bar chain of them. And when people look at the name, I want them to be reminded of the slow, grim fight for racial justice in the American South.
Yeah, but maybe they're not
Happy hour.
reminded of that.
No. But then what do they think it is if they don't know? They just go, oh,
You're
Mockingbird.
absolutely right. It is a bit inappropriate. It's like a disco called The Colour Purple. I mean, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Where you can have a Harpo cocktail and mad.
No,
Because it's not a pun if you don't know the origin. And if you know the origin, it's not nice.
No. No, I agree.
Shut them down.
Yeah, is it a chain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird decision making.
Yeah, well, it's a good pun. That's my problem with it. It is quite a good pun, and I find it hard to not admire a good pun.
That's how it's happened, though. The sheer strength of the pun has overwhelmed all associative concerns.
Well, I once spoke to the historian Lucy Worsley, and I expressed some surprise that she was working on that series of Versailles. I don't know if you remember it, but it was bawdy in the extreme.
Yes.
And she said, well, if one person who watches it actually looks in and reads into that historical period, I have done my job. So maybe Tequila Mockingbird thinks if one person reads that book,
Will they though?
we have not wasted. To which their business partner says, what book?
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
Frank, may we return?
May we?
Oh, lovely. Lovely work, Skinner. To some bits of previous correspondence we've had
Oh, yes.
from our loyal readers. Because, they should not be overlooked.
No.
What was the thing they said about animals during the wartime, Frank? They did not know.
No, they had no choice.
They had no choice.
Yeah.
I think about that at least once a week and it makes me smile. Not that they had no choice, that's obviously very sad, but it seems an odd...
No, it's not the slogan I'd have gone for.
No.
They were brave, whatever you think, would have been my slogan. So have we heard from the outside world?
We have. We've heard from Adrian from Surrey, who's got in touch with the greatest cape I ever wore. How does that strike you?
I think we've all sat around in pubs going through that
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah. As a teenager, I was in a local panto group. I already love you, Adrian.
Yeah.
And I regularly ended up as the villain.
Oh, okay. Or
Go
should I say? Yeah.
Would you have been cast as a villain, incidentally, Frank Skinner?
I think at that period I'd have been cast as the village drunk. That's the only way I could have really coped with it. But no, I've never. When I was in a panto, I was in the ITV panto, and I was Buttons. And I introduced the gag when people say, Buttons, and I immediately checked my flies and said, thank you very much.
Yes,
Oh,
you're
I
very
loved it.
Buttons. I would say if I had to think of...
Yeah, I was chirpy in those days.
Yes, you have. It's something of the hotel porter about you.
Yes.
And he did wear that sort of
I
outfit.
like to think I was Buttons, but shot through with darkness.
Buttons with a dark backstory.
But maybe all those things, they've got plenty of darkness in them, those pantos.
Which
Oh, yeah.
panto character are you? Oh, you've got to be... See, I've got the Widow Twankey.
Oh, okay.
What about you?
Me? I don't know.
Aaron Hardock?
No,
He's
I
got
don't
to be
think.
Prince Charming.
Yeah,
maybe.
he's going to be one of the... Is there like a big... you know
The
that...
giant.
You know of
Fee,
mice...
fi, fo,
You know
fum.
of mice and men. You know that big character
Lenny.
in that.
Lenny!
Yeah, I'm Lenny. Is there a Lenny character in Panto? That'd be very tragic.
Not that I can think of.
Blacksmith?
Yeah, village blacksmith. You can always fit one of those in.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's very blacksmith.
And then they can come out with like it looks like a hammer, but it's really a sort of a baseball bat. And then you can knock horseshoes, foam horseshoes, or maybe candy horseshoes into the audience
Yes.
for the kids.
Yes, that's
I
right.
think I've got something. I had an idea for a TV. You know, I have an idea for TV shows now and again, which I like to share. If anyone wants to make them, it's fine. I thought ones in which you predict which celebrities would be good couples. Be good. And it could be called the shipping forecast.
Very nice.
What do you think?
I like that.
Okay, well, it'll be on Channel 5, I should think, within 6 months.
Oh, and Adrian, we will get back to you. We're still mid Adrian from Surrey's email.
Okay, yes. Well, it's
the
good.
greatest cape he ever wore. We're going to find out shortly.
Well, that is worth a cliffhanger, isn't it?
Frank Skinner on
Absolute Radio.
And guess what? Alf, the furry alien,
Yes.
was called Alf because, and we know this because Rue Valentino from East Sussex has told us this. It was called Alf because it was an alien life form.
I think Pierre said that about an hour ago.
I'm so sorry, Pierre. I didn't even hear you say that. I thought it was some big revelation.
I whispered it into my sleeve.
No, I didn't hear it. I thought it was going to be up there. Now I feel very embarrassed.
No, well, it's... imagine how they feel, who sent it in.
Well, imagine how... Frank,
No, thanks for sending
imagine how Absolute Radio are going to feel, because I don't know if they still have the no repeat guarantee.
The no repeat guarantee
But
has
I've
been breached.
I've thrown it
Does
into
this mean
chaos.
Harry Curie for us all?
Yeah.
I'd like to apologise to my bosses at Absolute Radio.
They don't listen. Don't worry.
We'll soon find out.
Yeah.
Here's a test.
It's a lot of radio to listen to, isn't it, for one person?
I think they listen. Do you think they don't? What do you think they do? They're doing this.
Well, they can't listen all. It's 24-hour radio.
Oh yeah.
They've got to have a life.
Do they not have shifts in booths or something?
I don't know where they keep their underwear.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we were on Best Ever Cape, weren't we?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, best ever cake.
And then I broke it off
Adrian.
to flout the no repeat guarantee. Adrian from Surrey, the greatest cape he ever wore.
Hold it. Wasn't there a film called that? The Greatest Cape. Da, 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 da. What if that had been a film about a really amazing cape that someone made when they were a prisoner of war?
You would have watched it then.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you
I
did
have
watch
watched it many times.
Which one's that?
It's the one when Steve McQueen escapes on a motorbike.
It's not James Coburn, is it? No.
Ooh.
Maybe he is.
McQueen is put in solitary,
James
and what he
Coburn,
does
isn't
is
it?
he bounces a baseball off the wall over and over again.
Oh, okay. The boys at my university made me watch Escape to Victory.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Sylvester Stallone playing a goalkeeper?
That's right.
Yeah.
And many of the,
I was out at that point.
the Ipswich Town football team are representative.
Oh, okay. Back to The Great Escape,
Yes.
comma, I ever wore.
Yes.
Adrian from Surrey's, I'll recap. As a teenager, I was in a local panto group and regularly ended up as the villain. My mum made me a cape for my costume as the Demon of Discontent. And over the years, it was repurposed for other roles.
Oh.
I'll allow you to imagine what they may have been.
Gendarme? Actually, does that qualify? Because what they have, their arms come through their capes. Is that still a cape?
Yeah, it's more of a capelet.
This could be a good TV show. Is it cape?
Is it Cape?
And when you see a loose fitting upper garment and you have to guess whether it's a cape or
say
No, it's more waistcoat. I'm afraid I'm not going to allow cape in this instance.
Well, that's a sort of French line in a coat, isn't it? That sort of flare.
Yes.
Does
So
the
I think-
gendarmerie, do they have the red lining?
They have red lines here and there on their uniforms.
Also,
It's a
I'm
great
thinking-
outfit, the gendarme.
What about the 1960s nurse? They liked a cape, didn't they?
What they like best of all is an upside-down watch pinned to the breast section.
Yes.
Oh, man. No other profession has taken up, or no, I've never seen anyone in their private life who wears an upside-down watch.
If there are any other jobs, I'd be interested to know. Can I just
You'd
finish?
think the vets...
What about the Great Escape, comma,
Okay,
I ever wore?
yeah.
Now I'm in my 40s. Not me, Adrian. Now I'm in my 40s and a local school governor, and I still pull the cloak out as a Dumbledore costume if I'm ever visiting the school on World Book Day. That's Adrian from Surrey. So you know what? That cape, look how that's been a good friend to him.
A lot of use. A lot of use out of that cape.
Yeah, but they don't really wear out, you see. There's no, like, elbows going into them and stuff. They're barely touched by the inhabitant.
The amount of swishing you'd have to do to wear out a cape would be tremendous.
I mean, exactly. No, I think
But that's because he's invested, or the parent invested. This is why don't go to the fancy dress costume shops with the four foldeds in the cellophane.
I'd like to see Dracula going to a sort of seamstress. It's the elbow. I swish it across myself. And
He's a snappy dress. Doesn't he get fed up of people saying, "Oh, you're going somewhere nice, Dracula"? What do you mean? I always dress like this. Oh, you got to do. This is my look.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Now, Frank, as a man who's, you're in with the Royals now.
Yeah, look, I'm not Nicholas Witchell. But yeah, I've had a bit of royal action just lately.
You really have.
You were trusted to get close to the mat.
Yeah.
You're in. I think you're in now, Frank.
Yeah. Do you?
Yes.
You could be quoted.
I haven't been invited to the concert.
I thought you would be. Well, that's because you call it the concert.
I think now if you said something, you could be quoted as a royal insider in a tabloid article.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
You're the closest I've got to a royal contact.
Okay.
But have you seen, in your capacity as our royal contact, Frank, the official food of the coronation?
Oh, yes. This is, I presume you say it like this, quiche Lorraine. Loreign.
Oh, very good.
That's what it's called in the paper.
Yeah.
Were they not punning? It can't be the official name.
No, it's a pun. I'm sure it's a pun.
I was going to say they're going old school French language titles now. They're going 1066.
Well, is it called Coronation?
Coronation quiche.
Quiche, yeah. As in Coronation chicken.
Yeah. Well, one of the things it said in the article I read, it said that the people who designed it, who were like the royal household cooks or whatever, said that they hope it will become as popular as Coronation chicken.
Right.
Like, not very popular.
A very low bar.
It's horrible, Coronation chicken.
Yes.
Does Coronation chicken have the raisins in it?
Raisins and curry powder.
It's yellow
thing.
with
Pineapple?
Oh, no, I don't think. I think you're thinking of Chicken Maryland.
Oh, no. Either way. So they we hope that with time people will find the Coronation quiche as disgusting.
Again, they should have called that Coronation.
It was originally called poulet.
Poulet poo. Chicken droppings. No. Wouldn't that be great if one of
too.
say if Agneta Falkstock had bought a farm and she walked through and somebody said, "What's that on your Wellingtons?" Poulet poo.
It was poulet Rain Elizabeth or something.
So anyway, I wasn't happy with quiche Lorraine, so I thought I'd come up with my own royal quiche. What do you think of this?
Go on.
Quiche to the castle. That's what Sean Connery would call it. I love it. Quiche to the castle.
I see that you do.
Yeah, it's much better than quiche Lorraine.
Do you know
Come
what?
on.
I don't dislike it.
Okay.
It's growing on me, quiche to the castle.
Yeah.
It really is, Frank. Because I'm seeing the packaging, and you know how a quiche often, not always, but sometimes favours a window. Like a sort of washing machine.
Does it?
Yeah, have you not bought a quiche like that? M&S do them like that.
Oh, okay.
There's a little plastic window where you can see what you're getting.
Oh, yeah.
As if the quiche was on a submarine.
Sorry, I thought you meant trellis.
Oh, I see.
You know when you get a
No.
pastry trellis?
No, trellis.
No.
No, I'm talking about the visual, the
packaging.
merchandising. Yeah, the packaging.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking there could be some potential there with the quiche to the castle. We can do something with that little window, surely.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes. Maybe some castellation on the pastry around the edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little portcullis.
Yeah. You
Something
could
like
have
that.
some like red peppers looking over the battlements for intruders.
It's getting quite complicated.
Well, you know, it's a big occasion. Yeah, I mean, the coronation is quite complicated, to be fair. Well, I think mine's better, anyway, as ever with puns.
Frank Skinner.
Absolute Radio.
Well, we are talking about the coronation quiche.
Yeah.
Oh, quiche to the castle, do you mean?
Oh, immediate rebrand, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If it ain't, it was broke and it needed fixing. Something I've learned from reading the quiche article that I read was that, and this knocked me flat. One thing that's disapproved of, an absolute no-no in the quiche world, or would it be a non,
Non merci.
is cheese.
Fromage.
You're not allowed to put, if you're a purist, you don't put cheese. I thought cheese was the absolute centre of a quiche.
Well, I mean, there's cheese in the royal quiche.
They love an earth. It's earth-based.
It's a sort of radio code from the Second World War. There is cheese in the royal quiche.
What it
I
sounds-
repeat.
Someone with a bowler hat.
It sounds
sitting on a park
like
bench.
it sounds like a really terrible guess on catchphrase.
There's cheese in the royal quiche.
No, it's good, but it's not right.
I can see why
is
you'd
it
say
cheese
that.
in the quiche? Please.
It's a bird in the hand, you fool.
Is it cheesy tart? No, it's not cheesy tart.
And how dare you?
It's good, but it's not right.
Well, in the article about the quiche, there's a bit where they refer to it as the royal vegetarian tart.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Careful.
unnecessary.
Well, they say it's vegetarian. They say it contains broad beans and spinach. And you think, all right. No need to shout. It's vegetarian. We get it.
All right, Highgrove, calm down.
But I read a complaint yesterday that it isn't vegan, and so someone's come up with an alternative vegan.
Because there's
What
cheese
is
in it,
it?
I suppose.
Vegan
Cheese and egg.
quiche to the car. Oh, it's all gone wrong. It
No,
doesn't work
I
anymore.
don't know what that one would be called. Bleak Lorraine. So yeah, no, and also it said that we hope people will eat it whilst watching the coronation. What a lovely idea!
I suppose.
I'm
Have a
also,
bit more confidence, we hope.
yeah, I'm also going to eat it whilst watching Lorraine. Shame to only use it once. Wouldn't that be? If you met someone who every morning watched Lorraine eating a quiche Lorraine, wouldn't you have an admiration for that person? I would think, you know what? You are a special human being.
Yeah.
You've gone that far. I particularly like the red pepper with the small musket.
What about, because they also, you've picked up on the broad beans, Frank, and why the hell wouldn't you? They've also created a special royal sausage. Did you read about this?
What? The sausage royal? That's what that should have been called. Sausage royal, obviously. Honestly, I'm in the wrong job.
Do you want to know the ingredients?
Yes.
Okay. Well, one, was it Scottish pork?
Yeah. Scottish pork.
pork.
Scottish pork.
What? Do animals have nationalities?
It's
I thought surely they are citizens of the animal kingdom. They're not.
no.
They don't have visas.
They're not constrained by national borders.
Tart and bacon.
Why do you think they call it the animal kingdom? It transcends all national boundaries. I don't want to see pigs being compartmentalised like this.
You don't want to see them being divided by human.
Also,
No.
the idea that
No,
you...
it's just with a knife and fork.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, everyone.
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.
319's got in touch regarding your incredulity at Scottish pork,
Oh, yeah.
saying, "Where does that leave French poodles? Stateless."
Also members of the animal kingdom. They get their passport.
Yeah.
It's Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. Well, my dog's an Imperial Shih Tzu.
Imperial?
Yeah. That's his official title.
Okay.
From the... yeah, well, they were originally the Shih Tzu... I think I've told you this, Frank.
Chinese?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Frank, do you want to know what else is in the royal sausage?
Go on.
Scottish pork.
Yeah, well, debatable. Yeah.
Nationalist pork.
Yeah.
Scottish
It's
pork.
like the Catholic Church, the animal kingdom. It covers the whole globe.
One grand ecclesia.
Even the water birds, of which we spoke last week.
What about Border Collie? At least they're playing ball.
Yeah,
They say
well, probably on a good day.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? They're not committing either way.
No, but I mean, someone's
without
imposed
borders.
that on them. They know where their loyalties lie.
Where's that?
The farmer.
What, the animal kingdom?
Okay.
That's what. If there was a war between man and animals, they would have to all be impounded, the animals, because they wouldn't be able to trust them.
I'm just saying you've got a lot of admin to wade through to get this passed. And what about Alsatians?
Yes,
You know.
well, look, just because people have put names on them like Scottish pork.
I think dogs would be on our side in that war. They are so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know which side their bread is buttered. So the dog's saying to the wolf, let me get this right, you sleep outdoors and you have to catch your own... Yeah, well, OK, I'll see you tomorrow. And then that dog never turns up again.
So, Scottish pork.
Cut to dog talking to owner and owner saying, Animal Revolution, you say?
Well, we'll see about this.
Sorry, Scottish pork.
Scottish pork.
OK.
Victoria plum.
After Victoria,
Plum.
Queen Victoria.
And, controversially, I would say, ginger. I'm not
well,
sure about
apparently that was one of his conditions for turning up.
Oh, my God. I mean, I don't mind ginger in a beer
Right.
or a bread or a cake or something like that. Biscuit.
In a knot.
And not fabulous.
Yeah.
Love it in a person, not tolerating it in a sausage.
I've got to say, I love ginger in everything.
So do I, but not a sausage.
Would you have a pork, plum and ginger sausage?
Oh, God, with gusto.
Really?
Do they have gusto as a relish?
It's very...
You would, you would for your
No, sorry, Bisto. Sorry, I misread that. Could we do that again, Paul?
for your sovereign, you would put this sausage in your mouth.
Well, obviously, I'd go to the cannon's mouth for my sovereign.
Yes.
But no, I really anything with ginger in. Whenever I go to an everyman cinema, I always have a gingerella,
What's that?
which is a sort of ginger beer, design being based on the old Barbarella movie with Jane Fonda.
Okay.
You see where they arrived at the name?
I suppose.
Yeah.
I think they had a similar thought process to quiche to the castle.
Well, if only they had that kind of level of work.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Frank, we have an emergency missive in, which I need to share with you
Okay.
and our readers because I trust them.
Does it just say fire? Exclamation mark.
It's from a dispensing optician,
Oh, okay.
and I like the sound of this character. Hi, Frank. Listening to your radio show today was an absolute eye-rolling moment for me.
It's quite handy for an optician.
I'm a dispensing optician. I work for an independent opticians, and I could absolutely get your frame sent to a specialist and have the sides lengthened. I think you mean it's 150 millimetre length you need.
Oh, yes, not 500.
No such thing as a 500.
No, people now are thinking that I'm like the Mekon from down there. No, that's right. It was 150 and the ones I tried on was 145.
This DO, yes, I'm calling him a DO.
Oh, dispensing optician, yeah.
The DO, I won't name the DO, he's requested anonymity, and I have a certain amount of respect for that. If you're going to go, I like this, a little bit of shade thrown here, which I like. If you're going to go to a multiple,
Oh, yes, I did go to a multiple.
Like Specsavers.
Well, it
Then-
wasn't Specsavers. I don't
Okay.
think I should name them, but
No,
I have to say
but it was a
they hadn't got a
multiple.
Clulo.
If you're going to go to a multiple, then you need to realise they will not do anything like modifications, etc. They just sell what they've got. Please consider going to an independent and ask to see a DO. They are qualified and registered with the General Optical Council. There may be a DO you can see at a multiple, but they use a lot of unqualified optical assistants.
Oh, well, I'm not having that.
This person finishes, I really wish people knew who is who at the opticians.
Well,
Cheers.
the
And,
American...
thank you so much, by the way. We haven't put your name on the radio, but I think that was useful advice.
It
right?
was. That was very useful. And I remember reading the autobiography of the American poet Robert Pinsky, and he spent about half a paragraph, maybe a page, explaining the difference between a dispensing optician and an all those different...
Optometrist.
Yeah, and all those ophthalmic, blah, blah. Yeah. Great literature.
Okay. As was that email.
Yeah, no, that was helpful. I've realised now what I've been doing is I've been going to chains when I should be going to...
Independent specialists
exactly.
asking for the DO.
Yeah, no more multiples.
Yeah. Can I speak to the DO? I don't think I'd be prepared to say that, because what if they said, "What's that?"
I
I'd feel
just
like an
worry
idiot.
that how you'd make it sound au naturel and not that you were making too much of an effort and trying to be part of the gang.
Just sort
So
of-
give me an example. If I'm in the optician, ding, the bell rings. Hello there, can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to, if you can you put me in contact with what I like to call the DO?
It's to put me in contact with. Are you trying to
as
do
a
a pun
pun.
on
As a
contact
pun,
lens?
yeah.
Very nice.
And then she goes, "Len." And you think this is going even better than I thought. Listen, enough of this convo. And we're all very excited for Sarah's wedding tomorrow. It'll be amazing, I'm sure. And then she's off on some honeymoon, leaving us completely stranded. Nevertheless, if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again, producerless, next week.
This is Frank Skinner. This is
Absolute Radio.